What is more important in a photograph, color or black or white? The choice of color or black and white in a photograph is a very important decision you have to take that can impact significantly the perception and the look of any kind of photograph. For example, some very important image and photographers that decided to use colors or black or white are Steve Mercury in Afghan Girl, or all the photos from Fred Herzog, or of course one of my favorite photographers, Sol Leiter, or Konstantin Manaus. In black and white, we have some amazing image, for example, from Ansel Adams in Moonrise, or from Cartier-Bresson in his pictures Here's France, or Robert Capa in Falling Soldiers. All these photographers take the right decision if to use color or black or white in his image. You want to know how to take the decision and how to work with color or black and white in photography? Stay with me, I will show you in this video. Hi, I'm Mario Kilian and welcome back to another video. Color theory is the art of creating pleasure combinations of colors, and that is known as color harmony. And that creates or expresses that what you want to say in your photo. And the best is to use, of course, the color wheel. But what is the color wheel? The color wheel is a tool used to understand how colors relate to each other. It's like a circle divided into sections, each containing a different color. There are three primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, that can't be mixed from other colors. And mixing these primary colors creates secondary colors like green, orange, and purple. Mixing primary and secondary colors creates tertiary colors, a wider range of colors that are between the primary and the secondary colors. But now, what is the goal to use this color wheel? The color wheel has mainly three functions. The first one is to create harmony in the photos. The color wheel helps photographers to choose colors combinations that complements each other's. Of course, colors positioned next to each other on the wheel create a harmonious and pleasing effects in all the photos. The other objective of the color wheel is to create contrast. Colors located in the opposites of the wheel and known as complementary colors create a strong contrast. This can be used to draw attention to specific elements in the photograph. For example, if you combine reds with green or orange with blue, that creates a very aggressive contrast in your image. And of course, you have to use the color wheel to evoke emotions in the viewers of your image, because different colors evoke different emotions, and that's all well known for all of us. Understanding the psychology of color allows photographers to use the color wheels to create specific moods and atmospheres in their image. For example, red can suggest passion or danger, while blue can create some mood of peace and harmony in any photo. But how can I use the color wheel? Here are some tips that can help you to use in the correct way the color wheel. The first tip is to experiment. Try using different color combinations to see how they affect the overall feel of your photos. Consider the subject that matters inside your image. Maybe some certain colors may naturally complement your photographic subjects. And of course, don't be afraid to break some rules in colors. While the color wheel offers valuable guidance, it's not a rigid set of instructions. Sometimes unexpected color combinations can create some striking and very emotional results. By understanding the color wheel and its applications, you can make more informed decisions about the color choices in your photography, leading to more visually and impactful photos. If we want to use complementary colors in our photography, we need to know, of course, that opposites attracts. As I said before, the complementary colors are those that sit directly opposite each other on the color wheel. Imagine, for example, that the color wheel is like a clock, and the opposite colors are, of course, the one that is at 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, or at 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. How does I create contrast with complementary colors? For example, when complementary colors placed side by side in a photograph, complementary colors create a strong visual contrast. This contrast makes both colors appear more vibrant and eye-catching in any image or photos that you want to take. And of course, they draw your attention. A high contrast between complementary colors naturally draws the viewer's eye to the areas where these colors meet in the photograph. This can be a powerful tool for directing the viewer's attention to some specific subjects or objects within the image. Always consider the subject of interest in your photo. Try always to create the major contrast only to the subject that is really interesting in your photo. And well, that are mainly my thoughts about color in photography. But now let's get into black and white photography. Black and white photography is a technique that uses only the tones white, black, and gray in any image. What are the advantages of using black and white in your photo? The first one is that you can create a timeless photo. Black and white photos have a classic and timeless look. You can create already some emotion. Black and white can be very effective in conveying strong emotions, pain or sadness. You can create very aggressive contrast. Black and white creates a stronger contrast than colors in any kind of photography. And of course, distraction. When you use black and white, you remove all the distractions in your image. When you find a place in there you want to take a photo, but there are too much distractions within your image, you can use black and white just to avoid all these distractions and focus the eye only in the part that you think are interesting in this image. With black and white, you can create already some special effects. For example, realism. Black and white can be used to create a realistic effect, or drama. You can add a lot of more drama in your image. Black and white can create some dramatic changes in your image. And of course, something I find always interesting in black and white photography is that you can create some mystery in your image. You can create some spooky image, or you can create scare in the perception of the viewer of your image. And of course, something very important is that black and white image creates nostalgia. That's because a lot of years ago, you could only take photos in black and white. And in this way, you can create a nostalgic image taken today. The importance of black and white image is that you can use light to create a very strong contrast between the shadows and the bright areas of your image. You can use the soft light to create a softer contrast and add some mood of calmness even in your black and white image. And of course, you can create a directional light in black and white that creates a sense of deep that is almost impossible to create in a color photography. And so, the goal of these few videos was, of course, to explain you how to get a good photo. A photo that, of course, people keeps looking for more than 1 second. And we talk about, of course, the technical aspects and the creative aspects. And this video, I talk you about the color in the creative aspects, and in my last video about the composition. Now it only remains, of course, to choose the correct moment and, of course, the editing. So let's do a brief review about the choice of the moment to get a good photo. Capturing the right moment can elevate a photo from a good to an excellent photo. Work on your ability to anticipate and capture unique and significant moments that add interest and emotion to your image. How can I do this? The first rule is to anticipate. Anticipating in photography involves being alert and prepared to capture significant moments before they happen. This means being attentive to the environment and subjects of your photography and anticipating possible actions or events that may unfold. For example, in sports photography, an anticipation is just to be prepared when the soccer player, for example, will hit the ball to do the goal. So you have to anticipate and be prepared for this moment. Of course, you need to wait for the key moment. Sometimes capturing a perfect image requires a lot of patience. Why? You have to wait for these actions. You need to know what you take in the photo. In bird photography, it's very important to know the behavior of the birds so that you can know in which moment any kind of bird will do a special action or a special movement that creates this impact photo. It's very different taking a photo of a duck in the water than a duck with his wings open. A very good example is it is, for example, when you want to take a picture of the International Space Station crossing in front of the sun. There are some photographers, they have spent years just to calculate the moment in this International Space Station will cross it. Well, this was the moment when the battery runs out. I was talking about the importance of taking a picture in the correct moment. You can take a picture of the sun, you can take a picture of the International Space Station, but there is nothing like the picture of the International Space Station crossing in front of the sun. That is one of the most impressive examples of the moment of taking a pictures. The same happens with an airplane crossing in front of the moon or everything of this. You have to think always in when will be the right moment to take the picture. Of course, patience and experience will help you will give you a lot of experience to know and anticipate of when to take these pictures. I made a video a few months ago about when is the right moment to take a photo of different birds. You can see this video here. Maybe it can help you a lot too. And the last point, of course, of the creative aspects in photography is about the editing. I always recommend a moderate editing. What is editing? Editing, of course, refers to the process of adjusting and enhancing any kind of image using tools like Photoshop, Lightroom, or Topaz. Editing can be an important part of the photographic workflow, can help, of course, to improve the quality and appearance of any kind of image. But it is crucial to do so and moderate and careful editing so that the image don't lose its authenticity. It has no sense to over-edit an image and make it look like a false or a over-colored image that really doesn't adjust to the reality you are seeing in the moment you take the image. So I would recommend always to do just, for example, a basic adjustment in photography. Start with basic adjustments like exposure, like the contrast, a moderate saturation, and color temperature. These adjustments can help to correct the exposure or enhance the overall look of your image. You can edit, for example, to use the edit process to correct some imperfections. always we take a photo and there are sometimes some defects in this photo and we don't have the chance to take the photo again. So you can use the editing tools to correct minor defects such as spots, maybe the skin imperfections, maybe some dust you get in your sensor when you took the picture. And of course, all these you have to do it without changing the whole perception of the image. It's good when you edit the photos to use a selective enhancement to know which part of the photo requires some adjustments. It is important that when you take your picture and you're watching it in the computer, you previously analyze the image and think in what will I improve in this image? Only the sky, because the sky is too bright, I need to lower the exposure of the sky, maybe to rescue some image from the shadow or from the dark part of the image. And every time you do some editing of the image, you have to take care to not delete the patterns or not to delete the details. Try to preserve all these important things that make this image really particular. And so, I think I have finished. With these 3 videos, my goal is that you learn some techniques to get a really good photo that people looks for more than 1 second. I know you can do it. Maybe it's a lot of information, but it's nothing too much. And I know that you can do it. So the best thing is to practice. Now take your camera, go out and take the best photo. I know you can do it. So bye-bye, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.
Okay, I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays. Way back a year ago, I've changed for the better.